Welcome to Mindful Moments with Maree on Global Voice Radio. Listen as Maree takes you on a journey, an inner and closer look at yourself, helping you to become more mindful, compassionate, and fulfilled. Here's your host, Maree.
Hello and welcome to Mindful Moments with Maree, and I'm here today in Medjugorie in Bosnia-Herzegovina, and it's absolutely beautiful time here. I'm here with a group who's on pilgrim, and also a group of people who are just here to relax and enjoy the comfort and the safety of people who are here in faith and in happiness. It's really such a beautiful place to be. I've been coming for the last 5 years, 6 years actually, and this will be my 7th. And it's just the most relaxing place to come, just to get away from everything, to find more time for yourself, to actually find yourself, really to find yourself here in Medjugorie, where there's a lot of self-reflection, and I can also guarantee by the end of your trip, there's many things that you'll find within yourself that you've never found before in either at home or where you live. And of course you'll hear the music behind that's coming from the church, and I hope you'll just stay with me here in this moment. And it's really like, as I say, Medjugorje is beautiful. There's a really underlying truth that, we do create our own reality. And when that reality no longer serves us, we can change it. And being here in Medjugorie, it opens up such amazing possibilities of physical, mental or emotional healing. And being here in Medjugorie allows for changes in your lifestyle, your environment and your abundance. And it's just such a beautiful, calm place to be. And I'm going to be doing a group if people wish to come with me this year. I'm going to be doing that. It's going to be a very kind of quick trip this year, as it's a magical time. So today's show, I'm going to be having David Parks, who had an absolutely miraculous healing here in Medjugorie, and he is now a guide for the last number of years. And also we will have a guide, a native of this land, who has been being a guide for the last 20 years, and she's going to speak her wisdom and also her experience in and being of Medjugorie, and what she's seen, what she's felt, that she wants to share some of her wisdom with you. So I really do hope you're going to hear a lot of birds. It's going to be, as I said, I'm recording in Medjugorie. I'm not in a studio. It's going to be very live. It's very beautiful. I'm actually sitting on a rooftop at the moment in one of the hotels that I'm staying in, and I'm looking across right this very moment at another hotel where there is, I would say, if I was to try and recount them, I'd say there's 40 people sitting on a rooftop meditating. As I said, there is in Medjugorje, there's so many different faiths here, so many different faiths, but we all do believe in one thing: the love for each other, the love and the care for one another. And that is what makes Medjugorje so special. And Our Lady was here, and just her words were peace, 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 peace within each other, peace within our community, peace within ourselves. Because if we haven't got peace within ourselves, how can we be a great reflection outwards? So I really do feel that I'm having an absolutely splendid time being here, and I hope you enjoy the show, as I've got some really magical moments today in the show. So I want you to hear and listen to David Parks as he explains his experience before, during and after Medjugorje. Well, this morning I'm here in Medjugorie, as I promised last week on the show that I'm going to be recording here in Medjugorie. As you can hear the beautiful birds in the background. And I'm so happy to say that I am with one of their guides here from Ireland. We have David Parks. Good morning, David.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Medjugorje.
Now, David, you have an amazing story, how you were first brought to Medjugorje. Would you like to share it with the listeners? What got you here first, and then what's inspired you to stay?
Well, I came here not by accident, but I suppose by the power of prayer, really. Briefly, I was a professional soccer player in my early days. And then at the age of 27, I got struck down with an illness called Crohn's disease. And that illness lasted for 14 years. And in that period of time, I had 10 major surgeries. The last surgery was on the 7th of January in 1989, and the doctors gave me roughly weeks to live. I was angry with God at that particular time in my life, and I had not been inside a Catholic church, primarily because my eldest boy, Ken, was born with an incurable illness called cystic fibrosis. So between his illness and my illness, I got angry with God, as you do. Everything that goes wrong in your life, it's God's fault. So I was away from my faith for 8 years, and at that time I'd given up the football and was involved in the music business. And financially we were in difficulties because of the illness, and the band organised a concert. There were 2 people there who ran a travel agency, and they specialised in bringing people to Medjugorie. And then they offered me and my wife a free pilgrimage to Medjugorie, which at the time I felt I didn't need in my life. As I said, God wasn't part of my life. But strangely, Anne and I were married in 1972, and we came on a honeymoon to Croatia, which was part of Yugoslavia. And we fell in love with a little place called Savtat. That's where we spent our honeymoon. And the guy who was offering me this pilgrimage, and I wasn't interested in coming, for half an hour he was going with this and that and the other. And I just turned to him and said, listen, I know where Medjugorie is because I spent my honeymoon in Savtat. And he said, we'll be stopping at Savtat on the way back from Medjugorie, and we'll have Mass and we'll have dinner. And I remember distinctly saying to him, listen, none of the Mass stuff, but dinner in Medjugorie, or dinner in Savtat. So that's really the reason I came. But I was blessed. I kicked, I screamed, I fought all the way here, didn't want to participate with. But we had an amazing priest whose name was Father Peter Maree Jane. And Father Ruki had got great intercessory power of prayer for healing. Wow. And in the graveyard, of all places, it sounds so funny to go for healing, through his intercession of prayer and the anointing with holy oil, I had an instant physical healing.
Did you feel like a healing in a graveyard? Is he going to leave you here, one step in the grave, or is he going?
No, well, I sort of, it's funny. The Irish have a great sense of humour, and I said, yeah, you're dying, you've one foot in the grave, and this guy is having a healing service in the graveyard. But, the Lord took me to the graveyard, and through the intercession of this amazing priest, I had this instant physical healing, which, by the way, wasn't the main healing. The real miracle of Medjugorie took place 2 days later up on a place called the Apparition Hill, where Our Lady appeared to the 6 visionaries for the first time. And really that's where my life was transformed, because that's where I made peace with the Lord. After 8 years, I made peace with my wife and my kids. I hadn't been a good dad or a good husband. And then, believe it or believe it not, I made peace with David Parks. So really and truly, that was the greatest miracle. And if anybody asked me today, if the Lord said, listen, I'm going to put you to a test, I'll put you back in the state you were in, and I will offer you one healing, which one is it to be? And I would have to say the spiritual. That's spiritual amazing. Is the most important. The physical one is the wow factor. When you say people, oh wow, but wow is nothing. It's my faith, the peace. The peace that I have in my heart and the peace that I have when the Lord is present is the most important thing in my life.
So how many years ago was that healing?
That was 1989, April of 1989. And then I went back. I had a band, a dance band and rock and roll band in the Burlington Hotel in Dublin, which was at the time the biggest hotel in the city. And I was there until September of 1993. And then I gave up the band business, and I felt that the Lord was calling me to do something. So from September of 93, I've toured the world doing Christian concerts, America, all over the States, Australia, New Zealand, Samoa, everywhere, all the English-speaking countries, just doing Christian concerts.
Wow. And what really inspired you to come back to Medjugorie?
Well, coming back to Medjugorie wasn't my decision, really. As I said, my eldest boy, Ken, had cystic fibrosis. And in 1993, he started getting worse. And in 2001, he was extremely bad, but he was also on the lung transplant list. And strange to say, it was easier for me to get home from Medjugorie than it was from all over the world. So it was my son Ken and my wife Anne, when I came home and told them I'd been offered the job, they said, "And you are taking it, aren't you?" So I gave up the touring in 1993, and I've been based here in Medjugorie for 7 months of each year.
That's amazing. That's an amazing story. So have you seen some amazing, like yourself, different miracles for different people over the years?
We've seen people get out of wheelchairs. We've seen blind people, seeing instantly. We've seen, but as I said, all of these, we've seen the people coming with dark hearts, with looks like depression, but as if there's no hope in their life. And actually I see me coming most weeks, and there's always one like me who doesn't want to be there. And then after 2 or 3 days, Our Lady just takes them by the hand and reintroduces them in many cases to her son Jesus. And then the transformation in that week is just amazing. Yeah. They go home, new people.
I mean, that's the one thing I've noticed, because I've been coming now to Medjugorje, I think, like 5-6 years. And there are times when there's people who have physical problems, and they will maybe not instantly, but there are people with inner issues that, like, you can see a transformation at the end of the trip. What was the best memory you've had in all the years that you've been coming?
Well, that's hard to say. I would think that to see the person coming who doesn't want to be there, who really and truly is there under duress, and then to see them midweek through, you see that scouring face gone, and you can actually see Christ in them. And I suppose that's what we're all hoping, that we go home from Medjugorje is the Lord to be present in us, and to realise that He's present in us. And I suppose that would be the greatest. It's hard to pick out anything else, but that would be, because that's ongoing. It's nearly a weekly occurrence that happens.
What really fascinates me is the fact that the Vatican they're not supporting or not behind Medjugorje, but yet there's thousands of people that come every day.
Yeah, well, it's not approved by the Church, but they have had a commission, and the commission have reported, and everything is on the desk of the Holy Father at the moment. So a decision is imminent, but, when is imminent? Is it 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years? Who knows? I mean, the phenomenon in Medjugorje has never ever been witnessed in the Church before. To think that 37 years, we would use probably the word alleged daily apparition still at this point in time to 3 visionaries. You get the skeptics out there who'll say, "Oh, it's a hocus pocus." But, I work here. It's not hocus pocus. The Lord is truly present, and our Blessed Mother is truly present in here. It's just that, the media, and I know I'm speaking to the media, but unfortunately the mainstream media just want to obliterate the Catholic faith. They're not trying to obliterate any other faith, to be honest with you, but it's just Catholicism. And that's why all these attacks come upon us. But you need to be here. There's a peace in Medjugorje that you just cannot find anywhere else.
I mean, as the listeners will hear the birds around us, and there's so many people, so many different nationalities come here, all different faiths that come here, and they're so welcomed.
Absolutely.
They're so welcomed. All different faiths are and I think it is just faith that brings people here.
Yeah. But one of the other great interesting things is, like about the visionaries as such, anytime they speak, they don't ask you, "Do you believe me?" They just come along and say, "This is the message from a lady," and that's it. Yeah. So there's nobody here trying to force anybody to believe anything. When you arrive, whether you're agitated or you have the weight of the world on your shoulder, that peace just seems to come in of its own accord. We know it's of the accord of the Lord and His Blessed Mother, but there's nobody. Often people say, "Oh, there must be out there. There's somebody." Brainwashing people. There's nothing. No. There's nothing. There's just that peace. And one thing you do find in Medjugorje, you hear the truth. It's not wishy-washy. It is the truth. It's what our faith tells us, or what is expected of us as Catholics, Christians.
And I concur what you're saying, and I also feel that when people come here, you actually do see a deeper self-reflection on yourself. I don't know what it is, but it just makes you see yourself on an inward way. And even when you're here, you just feel more at ease, at peace, and at home. I know that's a very strange thing to say, but it's just the energy and the peace in Medjugorje. And the locals are they've been so so welcoming, and they always have been. I think they're very precious about Medjugorie and what it stands for and everything that it does. And is there something else that you could add to that?
Well, I just feel that the secret of Medjugorje is that you try and put into practice what you've experienced in Medjugorje. I mean, it's simple. It's prayer and fasting. I mean, there's nothing else. You don't have to pay money for this or this. It's just you're asked to pray. There's mountains to climb. There's a cross mountain. There's the apparition hill. But in none of the messages of Our Lady did she say that you had to climb any of these places. Because we working here on the ground, one of the difficult points is that people will come, because as a group, with most pilgrimage group, they do climb the apparition hill and they do climb the cross mountain, but then there's those of us who can't for whatever physical problems and medical problems. But Father Slavko, Lord rest him, he was the one who used to say when people would come to him and say, "Oh, Father, is my pilgrimage any less because I can't climb the mountains?" And he would say to them, "You know what?" He said, "For those who climb the mountain, that's their cross. And for those who can't climb the mountain, that's their cross." So the only thing Our Lady asked you to do was to pray, pray, pray.
That's true. The Queen of Peace. She is the Queen of Peace. And is there anything inspirational that you'd like to say to the listeners if they would like to journey to Medjugorje, or something that they could take away from our moment here?
A pilgrimage is... it's always recommended that you do go on a pilgrimage at least one time in your life. Some people, unfortunately, will go to a pilgrimage expecting things. Miracles. And, the miracles may not necessarily be the physical a miracle. If you're unwell and you have this amazing physical healing. But the miracle can be that you have the grace to accept what you have. And if you have that peace in your heart and in your soul, that you can carry that cross. I mean, we're all going to die. I mean, there's the only certainty in life. There's only certainty in life. I remember when my son Ken was very ill. He was 6 months old, and we were called on Christmas Eve and told he had 3 hours to live. And we brought a great priest with us, a great friend of the family's. And we were distraught because we couldn't stay Christmas Eve night through the night with Ken, because for insurance purposes we couldn't go and visit Christmas Day for the same reason. And we were distraught, and we were dropping the priest back. He'd baptised Ken in the hospital, and he said to Anne and I, he said, "Listen, where are the people that Jesus healed?" We said, "They're dead." Well, he said, death is the only certainty in life. So, it just depends whether you go and fight against it, but acceptance of what God's will, I suppose that's the word I was looking for, God's will, whatever God's will is for us all. And if you accept that, you'll have that peace. And it doesn't matter whether it's 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, 10 years. Once you have acceptance that death is for us all, with that peace.
Well, David Parks, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you this morning in Medjugorje, and I hope you have a fabulous day today.
We'll have a great day. The Lord is present. As was said, we're blessed.
Thank you, David. And that was David Parks' beautiful interview with me here in Medjugorje. I hope you enjoyed that. And as I was saying, there's so many things that he was speaking about, and so many things that happens here in Medjugorje. There are people that come here in Medjugorje. There are people that come for healings more outside, but a lot of people just come. They just come to experience Medjugorje. And yet, even just in coming, many people, and as I said, I've come for the last 5-6 years, and there has many people, and I will include myself, they have had amazing transformations in their lives inwardly. I feel Medjugorje really makes you see a lot about yourself. There's so much self-reflection here as you come. Nobody has put pressure onto you to do this or do that. Just being here, and the energy of Medjugorje is just magical. And as one of our guides you'll hear later in the show will say to you, that there is a portal. They didn't exactly say there's a portal door, but I'm saying this. There's a beautiful portal door here in Medjugorje, which you will hear about later. And where it's connected to is just phenomenal. And I truly do believe, and I've been in many different places around the world that I've lived in and worked with many different healers in different areas and different countries around the world. And this really does fit into a number of places that I have been where there has been magical transformations in people's lives. And I would consider this Medjugorie as such a magical, transformational, miraculous place, even if you were to come just for a day. Forget about your phone, forget about everything, and just be with yourself. There are some beautiful transformations that happen here if you're willing to allow them to happen. And one of the things that we will learn about as well is forgiveness. And forgiveness is such an important part in our lives that we always just throw away, we think nothing of. But if you can't forgive others for things they've said or things they've done, which does not mean that you have to accept them and carry on the rest of your life, but to forgive them and let it go. And also to forgive yourself for holding on to so much pain for such a long time. There are so many people that hold on to so many painful, hurtful memories that they bring up constantly, day after day after day. It's like Groundhog Day in their heads. And by living this way, you are actually making yourself sicker and sicker and sicker and creating illness inside your own body. You know, there are times in life where you have to let go. Be non-judgmental. That does not mean that you don't have to trust those people for the rest of your life. It's a lesson that you're learning in. It's a lesson that you're saying, okay, I learn where my boundaries are with this person. I forgive them what they have done in my life. They've caused pain. But now I understand. Now I know. They are no longer in my circle. They are no longer part of my life if you don't want them to be. If you do, with caution, that is just as good. But you know yourself far better than anybody else, than the divine God that we all have above us. And the divine God can be in whatever faith that you are. Whatever faith that you are is your divine God. Faith is what brings people. Faith is, how can I say this? Faith in life is the cement in life. Without faith, where would we be? Without faith, we would have nothing. We would have nothing to stick to, nothing to be constant in our life. Faith, I feel, is the cement in our lives, as is love. And that is all that we are searching for. Every day, every breath of our lives, we all want to be loved. We all want to be loved in our lives. So, being here, it makes me see, so much in so many other people that are searching, that are looking, that are hoping to find something within themselves. And it truly is such a self-reflective place to be. It's a great place to shake out your demons in a way, because you do get to see your ugly side. You do actually get to see the part that you don't like, or the parts that you may never have seen before that you don't like. And it keeps coming up in your memory saying, oh, the recall keeps popping up and you don't feel comfortable with that. You actually feel how wrong it was. And then you think, how can I change that? How can I adjust that? Because I don't like how it feels on me. Imagine how it will feel on somebody else that you've just given that to. It is such a great place for self-reflection, because it truly does make you see a reflection of yourself in an amazing way. Today I had a beautiful interview with Moista, who has been a guide here in Medjugorie for 20 years. So she has seen so many amazing things, not just in others, but also in herself. I want you to join me, myself and Moista, our interview today at the Blue Cross with Our Lady in Medjugorie. And I'm here at the Blue Cross in Medjugorie, and I'm with Moita, who is a guide. And Moita, how long have you been a guide, and what has inspired you to become a guide here in Medjugorie?
Well, hi everyone. I just want to greet you all who are listening to this program. My name is Moita, and I'm guide here for the pilgrims in the parish of Medjugorie. Well, this year I'll be celebrating the 20th anniversary of me becoming a guide, and what inspired me, well, I just need to laugh at that question. I'm so sorry, but I need to laugh because nothing really inspired me. I really believe that Our Lady was working in a way that, first of all, when Our Lady first started appearing here in Medjugorje, my mom started coming straight away. We live in the neighboring parish, so every single day she would come, and because I was 8-9 years old, she would bring me with her almost every day. So at that stage and at that age, you really are not so much interested in going to church, especially not sitting for 3 hours. And that's what my mom did to me. But I believe that those were actually the seeds of what I'm doing now. And then my very close friend, actually we were half brother and sister because he was born only 3 days before me, and he was our neighbor. So because my mom didn't have milk, so his mother was breastfeeding me. So we became like a brother and sister in a way, and we were following each other. Actually, mostly I was following him through the life. And then in 1991 he said, listen, I'm going down to Medjugorje, there is an exam for the guides, and would you join me? And I said, oh God, I don't want to become a guide, but look, I'll just go for the exam. And I went for the exam. I passed the exam because here in Medjugorje, to become a guide, you need to first do the state exam, and then you need to do the exam of the parish.
Wow.
Yeah, so you need to know the catechism of the Catholic Church. You need to know everything about your faith, and of course you need to know everything about the apparitions, all the messages of Our Lady, and more and more, really. So you need to be spiritually, of course, open to do this. So in 1991 I passed the exam, but I didn't do anything until 1997, 1998. Yeah.
What happened between all that?
I was searching for myself. I never had any intention of becoming a guide. That would be not even on my list of jobs in my life. Not even on the list. I won't say that wouldn't be on the last place, but it wouldn't be on the list at all. Because I was always very shy, and it was impossible for me to speak in front of the people. But I believe that when Our Lady wants you to do something, she will find a way. So that's what she did. In 1997, there was a man who, telling me, oh, you're English, okay, please come help me with some pilgrims. And I was like, no. Yeah. So he was very persistent, and eventually I came and started helping him, and it was with the Irish pilgrims. And now, 20 years later, I'm still with the Irish pilgrims, and I enjoy Irish pilgrims. So that's great.
So in all the years that you've been doing as a guide, have you seen some amazing miracles from Our Lady?
You know what? I was just thinking a few months ago, I was translating for a lady from the States, Mrs. Willard is her name. She was healed from the brain tumor here in Medjugorie in 2013, really miraculously healed. And I was just thinking, she said, oh, you probably so many healings and miracles. I must be honest and say no, not that I was like beside somebody that got out of the wheelchair. It's just that I personally experienced more spiritual healings with the people that were around me and with me, or in Medjugorje at the same time when I was there. So I won't say which healing is more important, because that's, of course, we all know that the spiritual one is
the most.
Yes, is the most important, but of course the physical one helps so much to so many people to come closer to God.
But do you feel that to have an outer healing, a physical healing, has to start from within on the spiritual level first?
Of course. I was just thinking, coming here to the Blue Cross, that, even for the Holy Spirit to come, we cannot be open if we are not only healed inside, but even if we do not forgive. If we don't forgive people around us, there is a blockage. and the Holy Spirit cannot come. And then in that way, the healing cannot come as well.
It's like we're building our own personal wall against,
Yes.
what we're looking for, the healing we want within.
Yes.
And the more negativity and the more unforgiving that we hold in our hearts, that's like our own invisible wall to allow a healing commence within our own spirit.
Yes, I agree. And we can see that, first in ourselves, that if there is sometimes there is, something, you know that you're longing for healing and that you need the healing and that you need the something to happen inside of you, but you just see that it's not coming, and then you're trying to find a way, but it's always, some, as you said, wall or a blockage, so that the Holy Spirit cannot come and do what he's supposed to do. Wow. Heal and make us more godly.
So do you feel this is going to be a long-term job?
After 20 years?
But you've only started.
Yeah. Lisa, I was just talking to my colleague Ozana these days. This is more like a vocation, but I must be honest, needed years and years to understand that this is really where God wants us. And I won't say that I'll be here next year or in 10 years or in 15 years. I can just, leave that with God and say that it will be God's decision, and I just hope that I will be open enough and close to God enough to know what His will is, and that I will be able to do it.
And do you have any inspiration or words of inspiration for anybody that's listening, that are thinking or considering coming to Medjugorie? What would you like to leave them with in thoughts?
You know what? I always say to our pilgrims, the reason why I would say to everyone to come to Medjugorie is because I truly believe that heaven is open above Medjugorie. Our Lady opened it back in 1981, and it's still open. Heaven is above the whole earth, but it's very special, in a very special way, open here above Medjugorie. And this, I believe, is the spiritual center of the whole world at the moment. And so many graces are given here. Absolutely. So many blessings are given here. And the only thing, as Our Lady said in one of her messages, we need to open our hearts. She said, dear children, just open your hearts to me and I will do everything else. Sometimes we come here and we think that our hearts are open, but they're actually not, because we are either in sin or we haven't forgave somebody, or there is something from our past that is blocking us. So we need to work on ourselves to be open, and then we can receive everything, because that's what Our Lady also said in one other message. You can receive everything. There is so much that is waiting to come. Yes, there is so much that is waiting for us to receive it. It's just that we need to clean the way for that to come, and I believe that most of that is given here in Medjugorie. And another thing is that in Medjugorie it's so easy to live the messages of Our Lady, and of course the messages of Our Lady of Medjugorie are nothing different to the teaching of the Catholic Church. So, but when you come here and when you experience that it is easy and that it is joy to live them, and then it's easier to go home and continue living with them, living the messages at home as well. Sorry.
No, well, I think that's a beautiful ending to our little interview at the Blue Cross, it's a glorious day, because I heard the weather wasn't so great. So we got a blessing coming here. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. And now maybe we can say a short prayer for all those who are listening to this show at this very moment, that Our Lady will bless all of them, that she will put her mantle around all of them, and we will pray for them and for their intentions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And that was myself on Moista today in Medjugorie at the Blue Cross. And we did say a beautiful prayer on Our Lady, Hail Mary, for all of the listeners, that anybody that has been listening, has and is listening to our show today, or even on the replay, please do place your prayers or requests as you listen to the show, because they are being heard. they're actually being taken on board. And we are, as I was saying to her, explaining that I'm doing this show, that I wanted to reach out to many people around the world that are like in so many different pickles in their lives, and that need help, that need somebody to lean on, that we're here, that we want to be there for you. So any prayers or requests, please just offer them up, because we truly were thinking of you all today in Medjugorie at the Blue Cross, where Our Lady appeared to the 6 visionary children in the 80s. So please do offer up your prayers. Believe you've been heard. And as I'm speaking now, the sun is just shining so gloriously on me, and it's so magical. So please, even if you're on the replay, even if it's a month or two afterwards, there is no time. There is no time in the divine. So each moment is present, and your prayers are being heard. Thank you. So I just want to have our little meditation, and this is going to be a beautiful, gentle meditation. I'm recording live here, trying to find a space in Medjugorje. So I want you all to find a beautiful, peaceful spot for the next while, and we'll do this beautiful meditation. So I want you to sit relaxed. I want you to connect with your body, your feet, your legs, your back, your spine, your shoulders, your arms, your head, your heartbeat, and your breath. I want you to feel that you're in the most beautiful place that you could ever be. Relaxed, really relaxed, and connect with your breath. I want you to take a deep breath in and out. Again, a deep breath in and out. And I want you to sense everything that you feel around you. The sounds, the feelings, the sensations. The light in your face. The heat on your skin. The clothes touching your skin. Your shoes, your socks, how they feel on your feet. Your body resting against the chair. I want you to feel the sensations of this on your skin. And constantly being in touch with your breath. Breathe in deeply and out. And as you breathe in, there is a beautiful light coming from your feet, and it's going up your body, up your legs, along your hip, through your spine, the back of your neck, your shoulders, the back of your head, down your arms, through your hands, through your fingers. This beautiful warm sensation, this beautiful miraculous feeling. And again, I want you to picture this beautiful light on top of your head, like the sun just shining down on you. And as it shines down on you, this beautiful heat goes through your head, onto your shoulders, your arms, down your spine. You can feel it through your vertebrae, into your hips, down through your legs, your knees, warms your knees, through your calf muscles. Your ankles, your feet, your toes are tingling. This beautiful energy is flowing through your body as you breathe in this beautiful light. And breathing out all the negative energy, all the bad thoughts that you've thought about, all the things you've thought about others and yourself. Just let it out. Breathing in again, this beautiful light that you feel around you. Breathing in and breathing out any toxic thoughts, words, energy out, 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 out. Now I want you to picture this beautiful golden ball of light sitting at the top of your head. This is a beautiful divine light of healing. And around the circle, this beautiful green and blue that is circling around the edges as it drops into the center of your head. And you feel the energies just dropping down, 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 down into your body, into the back of your neck, down your spine, down, down, down your spine. You can feel it in your ribs. You feel it in your kidneys, your heart. You can feel it resting on your hips. And as it goes down through your legs, your kneecaps, down through the front of your shins, down, down this beautiful golden light of healing energy, down through your feet into the floor. And your arms, this beautiful golden energy healing light is going down your arms. Through your fingers, this light is shining like this golden shining light through your fingers. And as you breathe in, this beautiful white light, this beautiful light of healing light coming through your body, filling all the spaces. And as you breathe out, breathing out all the negative, toxic energy, the thoughts, the words you said, the thoughts you thought about, just letting them go, letting them go, letting them go. And I want you now, as you're sitting in this beautiful healing meditation here in Medjugorie, with so many beautiful spirits around us, especially Our Lady, who is the Queen of Peace, peace in our lives, peace in our families, peace in our communities, and wanting peace in our world. But first we must start with ourselves, our world. And I want you to think of just one part of your life that you wish to have peace. In this relaxed state of mind, this relaxed body, I want you to think of one part of your life you wish to have peace. It may be in your family, your relationships, your work, your friends. One that stands out the most, that you've had so many problems with. You want just peace, peace, peace. And I want you to offer this prayer up to Our Lady. Ask her for her help. As she's listening. She is listening. As the birds sing in the sky. As they hear so many different things beyond our thinking. The prayer that you thought of was already heard. But I want you to offer this prayer of help, of hope, of faith. A place in your life that you need fixing, you need help with, that you're struggling through. I want you to breathe in and think of that one prayer that you want Our Lady to help you with all of your heart. Breathing in with so much love, hope and compassion. And breathing out knowing that it's done, that it is done. it is done. Put trust and faith into your prayers. Know that they are heard. Know that they are heard. And in this moment, I just want you to think, knowing that your prayer has been answered, that you are feeling much better than where you were before you asked. You feel peace, you feel contemplation, you feel much happier. You know that your prayer has been answered, and you're giving gratitude for your prayer. You're giving gratitude knowing that your prayer has been heard and answered. And you're saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want you to breathe in one more breath before we finish. One big breath, and breathe in so much light and love. Just breathe this into where your life is right now, how you're feeling right now. Breathing out, feeling bliss, feeling happiness, feeling contentment, feeling better than you were. Trusting, knowing, believing that your prayers have been answered. They have been heard. They will always be heard. Always. And I want you to take another breath in. This beautiful energy of Medjugorie. This beautiful birds. Beautiful services around us. People of all different faiths coming together with so much hope in their hearts and love in their hearts. With just this one prayer of love in their life, in their community and family. Take this all in. And one last breath before we finish up this meditation. Breathe in beautifully, this beautiful breath. And breathing out this bliss. This bliss is all the way through your body, through every cell, running through your body. This happiness, this knowing that your prayers have been answered, your prayers have been heard. You are happier now than you were where you started off. You are happier now where you are now than where you were when you started off. And when you're ready, and only when you're ready, I want you to come back into your body. Just move your hands and feet. Just shuffle them about. Shuffle your feet and move your fingers. And gently open your eyes and come back into the room. I want to thank you actually for being with me today. I really had such a beautiful day here in, well, not just today, I'm here for the next number of days in Medjugorie. I arrived on Wednesday, so I'm going to be here for a few more days, and I'm going to be speaking to a few more people. So my next show will be a continuation of my trip in Medjugorie, and I hope I'm going to meet up with a beautiful gentleman, a young boy who was in a wheelchair for all of his life, and he had such a miraculous story. I really do want to share with you, and his mother Nuala, who I have known for so many years since I was small. So I really do I want you to join me with them on our show next week, and many other pilgrims that have come here, either of faith or of no faith, who have just been here and want to experience what Medjugorie has got to offer. So I want to share that with you next week. So please stay with me and join with me next Monday at 11 a.m. EST time, and it's 4 p.m. GMT if you want to join me on that. But I really do wish you will join me on the show next week, and I really hope that you enjoyed our show today, as I've had such an absolutely blessed time meeting people I've never met before and hearing stories that I've absolutely enjoyed listening to, and it's just taken my breath away sometimes hearing some of their backstories, before you actually get to hear the ending of it. So Thank you for joining me today. As I said, it's a live recording from Medjugorie. You can hear the birds in the sky and everything else around me. And I'm sorry if you find that a bit distracting, but it's the best I can offer. As I'm here in Medjugorie, no studio time here. It's just basically as best as you can. And again, I really do hope you can join me next Monday on Mindful Moments with Maree on Global Voice Radio. Namaste. Namaste. Namaste, 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 namaste.
Thank you for listening to Mindful Moments with Maree on Global Voice Radio. Join Maree every Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern on Global Voice Radio.